Welcome to Make with Care. I'm Care. I'm a knitter based in South Jersey, United States, and I've been knitting for 5 months. So this is my first knitting podcast. I will do the standard podcast format, talk you through my finished objects, works in progress, acquisitions. I thought first for this one I would start off by giving kind of a little bit about me. I have a day job as a software engineer, which I love. And then I like to do anything crafty. I've been crocheting since I was like 8, on and off. My grandma taught me. And then I learned to knit this year as a New Year's resolution. I was really excited to learn to knit. I had really inspired by a bunch of things I'd seen online, and I've kind of become completely and utterly obsessed, consumed mentally, thinking about knitting all the time. I do it all the time. So yeah, I figured since this is my first podcast, I'll just do kind of my finished objects and works in progress. I've had a lot of yarn acquisition and stuff kind of starting knitting, but I don't think we need to get into that. I think that's a little too much information for y'all for the first time. But yeah, besides knitting and crocheting, I love reading, I love cats, I love hiking, gardening. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's actually just jump right into the finished objects and go from there. So I'm gonna go in terms of, I'll start with what I'm wearing first. So what I'm wearing is the Olga sweater by Petite Knit. I knit this in Wool Pop by Universal Yarns. And I got this at my local yarn store. This was kind of my first completed, this is my first completed sweater. I would not say it's perfect, but I found the pattern really easy to follow, and I'm really proud that I made this. Like, I look at it and I think, I'm obsessed with it. I wear it all the time. I did do a collar modification that I found on Ravelry, basically like adding rows of double knitting. So if you see like the projects on Ravelry, they had it, and then I'll try and link the YouTube video that I got the idea from in the description box below, because I just followed somebody else's suggestion. But I really like how the collar worked out. I think it looks really, really nice. I'm a big fan of this compared to how it is in the pattern. Other than that, I pretty much knit it to pattern. I might have cropped it a little bit, but I don't even think so actually. And then it blocked out quite well. I think the sleeves are a bit short before blocking, and then it really blocked out. This yarn is a bamboo superwash mix, which I actually really like. I think it feels really comfortable to wear. It's definitely a good spring summer sweater for me. I tend to run hot in general, and it's already been pretty warm here, but I can wear this pretty comfortably, 60s, 70 degrees, and it's not too warm. The bamboo really lightens it up. Yeah, I think this was a great pattern to do as one of my first ones. Petite Knit patterns I've found so far are pretty easy to follow, and obviously, I mean, she's so popular for a reason. But I am a big fan of the sweater. I would make another one, and like a very different color combo, probably like a super fun one. I might do that eventually, but not anytime soon. However, I'm really, really happy with this. I love to wear it. Yeah, that's about it for that. Next finished object, I'll start with some of my accessories. So one of the first things that I finished knitting, actually the first thing I think I finished knitting, were these gloves. So these, I forgot what these are called, but these are my first, let me get my book. Here's my little knitting journal. I try to take pictures of the things that I finished. So yeah, so these are the Pioneer gloves. I forget the designer name and I didn't put it in here, but I will put it in the link. I'll put it in the description below. But these are my first ones I made. I made these in a hand-dyed sock yarn that I got on a trip. And because I was new to knitting, I was just like, oh, I don't need the wrapper for it. I'll just throw it away. So I couldn't tell you, sadly. It is just a lovely variegated brown color. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it is I think it's a 3x2 rib. I really like the details on the palms. So I think that these are really fun to make. I think these are a good beginner project and help me learn more about increases as I like did both the gloves. I think the second one is like way better in terms of the increases. And then also like I wove the yarn in kind of weird. There was just like a lot of little mistakes I made on that, but this is like pretty much a perfect project for getting to practice like the knitting and the purling and a little bit of increasing. And then I tried the Icelandic bind off. I saw that in the pattern on Ravelry as a recommendation, the projects on Ravelry as a recommendation. So I did that. And I quite like how that looks actually. It kind of matches like I think this is a German twisted cast on. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how they came out, especially for my first project. I was really psyched to have these. They're not super warm because they don't have mohair and they're pretty thin, but they've been really good for like going out and doing stuff while still having warm enough hands. So yeah, I knit a pair of penny gloves by Petite Knit in the same yarn, just a different color. And also I picked up a Madeline Tosh hand-dyed mohair to go with it. So I knit those as a gift for my friend. And I loved knitting those. So did my boyfriend. I'm actually gonna make him some for his birthday. He requested it in black, of course. But yeah, they were super fun. Another Petite Knit pattern, very easy to follow. And yeah, I liked them. I would make them again. They were pretty much just stockinette and good beginner project in my opinion. I got a lot of stockinette practice. I got practice picking up stitches along with thumb, which I did poorly. And I think there was some maybe casting on additional stitches via backwards loop or something. I didn't do it great, but it was really good practice, and I think they turned out really nicely in the end. My next finished object is a little bit more exciting. This is the L top by Malot by Week. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's gonna be in my Ravelry, which I'll link below. I knit this in, I actually remembered the yarn this time. Y'all should be proud of me. The Isair mohair. The shade names will be in my Ravelry as well because I didn't write them down. I've gotten better over time, y'all, but it's a learning process. You know, we're not perfect initially. So yeah, I did the Isair mohair, which I love. I've tried a few mohairs now. This is my favorite of the 3 that I've tried. It's so soft. It doesn't bother me at all. I love the color and how it looks here. I've pretty much worn this as a vest, not as a top. I finished this really quickly though. Oh, and this yarn at the bottom is Rama Garn Alpaca Lin. So it's an alpaca linen blend. And I really like this yarn. I think it's very interesting. And this whole thing makes like a really cozy, cute vest. I've seen some people wear it as a top as well. I just haven't. I haven't worn it as a top yet. I think I might try it for like going out to dinner or something, but to me, I just think it's really cute over like a white t-shirt. I'll put a picture here of me wearing it, and it's been on my Instagram as well. But yeah, I liked this one. I think this was this was a bottom up pattern, and I had, let's see, did I learn new stuff here? I definitely did. Picking up, oh, I learned the Kitchener stitch at the top, which I slightly messed up, but I fixed kind of after to make sure like the whole thing doesn't unravel. Most of it looks pretty good. I don't know if y'all can see, but I did mess up a little bit with the Kitchener stitch. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Bottom up was a new experience for me, but it did turn out kind of like I wanted. A little bit less positivities, I think, than was indicated in the pattern, but that suits me. I didn't want it to be super big for this kind of garment. So yeah. Next is a recently, oh, I forgot to talk about this. This is a Sophie scarf, obviously. And I knit this in, oh, this is bad. It's a cashmere yarn. I will put on the screen what it is. as I remember it. But this was, I haven't blocked this because I was really scared of blocking initially until I blocked this, and now I'm like, okay, I can block stuff, it's gonna be fine. So I do want to block this so that the yarn blooms a little bit, but this has been great. I knit the larger size, and it's been awesome for just, you know, having for like walks, or you can just put it in your pocket if you get cold, your purse, your bag, you can tie it around your bag. Obviously the mini skirts have been a big trend, everybody's made this. I also fell for the trend and I was not upset. This is the first time I ever did an I-cord. First thing I really did in garter, which I had a kind of I had to get a row counter just for this project because I didn't want to keep using stitch markers and I was having trouble keeping track. So I bought just one of the finger, I think my boyfriend bought it for me, the finger row counters. So that was really helpful, and definitely I've used on other projects since then, and it's been really nice. Yeah, that's my Sophie scarf. Obviously this is like a very popular pattern for a reason. I kind of want to make other little mini scarves because I think they're really helpful, but this is super soft and cushy. I did recently on my New Jersey Wool Walk get some more cashmere yarn, and I will be making a mini scarf of sorts. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the Sophie scarf or something else, but it will be some sort of mini scarf. So now onto two of my most recent finished objects. These I have a little bit more notes on. So the first one is the Cloud Top by Petite Knit. So this is a gift knit for my mom, and she really likes green and specifically cotton. So I had gotten the K&C Essential Cotton, which is what this is knit up in, at Joann's a while ago, like while I was looking at their like deals. It was barely any % off, but still it was a nice like cotton yarn. So I decided to make this top for her. I'm a little concerned. It came out a little bit bigger than I had anticipated. I think it will be fine. I just might, you know, I still need to block this, which if y'all, I'm going to try, I think, just tossing it in the washing machine since it is cotton, pure cotton. It should be fine, I think, to just toss in the washing machine. And then I might even dry it a little bit to maybe like shrink it a little bit. I'm worried it's going to be too big for her. She's a little bit smaller than me, quite a bit smaller than me. And she doesn't like tight clothes. So that part I've got covered. This pattern I really enjoyed. This is again a Petite Knit pattern, and I knit this on 4mm needles, as recommended in the pattern. I was able to meet gauge, I think. The gauge, you know, it seems correct, and looking at it, it seems like it met gauge, but I think it's just a little bit more oversized than I was anticipating, perhaps. I don't know, I need to check my gauge again once I've blocked it and see if I was like really far off. But this is a fun pattern. It's knit top down. You start with, I think you start with the back, like the center back, and then you pick up stitches for the shoulder, like the front right, left shoulder, front right shoulder. Yeah, that is what you do. And then, you know, you knit down, you connect in the front, and then you knit in the round. And at the end, you pick up stitches and just do like, it's like a rolling edge. It kind of gives like an I-cord vibe, but it's just a rolling stockinette edge. The bottom has like rib and then the stockinette edge. I really like the kind of casual look of the rolled edge. I think this is like a classy kind of tank top that looks nice, but not like, you know, too dressy perhaps. I think this would be great with some jeans or something. So yeah, I'm hoping that my mom loves it. I really liked this pattern. I definitely would make it again. It was very simple. I think for a relative beginner that this is a really good pattern. I didn't have to do too much ribbing. I didn't have to do I-cords, you know. There's a little bit of ribbing and then the rest is literally just stockinette. I do really like she put on the shoulders like some purl rows as like a shoulder detail. And I think that's quite nice. I think that looks really good. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this pattern, and it was really fun and quick to knit. You know, 4mm needles. This is a DK weight yarn. Yeah. I don't know if this was like the best yarn choice because it is variegated and there was like some striping because I didn't, you know, I just kind of knit with it. I didn't like switch skeins or anything, but the knit flat part, because you're going back and forth so much earlier, I think has more pronounced striping than the rest, because you're just going in the round and there's a lot more stitches before you come back. So, but I think it looks fun, and I hope my mom likes it. She likes green, she likes cotton. She lives in Florida, so I think a tank top would be kind of a good year-round kind of garment for her. All right, and my last finished object to talk about, I'm really excited about. This is the Paulina sweater by Verdant Rose, and this is a test knit, and I'm so stoked about this pattern. I think it's super cute. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to make that. So this is her. She's got this beautiful, this is my first time ever doing anything lace detailing, and this has not yet been blocked, so it's kind of a work in progress still, because I need to block it really bad so the lace looks better. So it will look better. Okay, this pattern's beautiful. If you go on her Instagram, you can see like her version, which is just stunning, and so I'm excited to see the lace a bit more pronounced after blocking, but even pre-blocking, I'm really excited for it. So this is worked top down. It's kind of like a saddle shoulder raglan combo, which is really fun for me to do. I really like this shoulder detail, and it's got like a cool ribbed neckline detail too. It's not just like a standard rib, it's like kind of a fancy rib. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but yeah, and all the rib is half twisted rib, so that was fun to do. I've never done that before. And then yeah, it's got like, it's a very oversized sweater, a lot of positive ease, which I'm so excited to wear. Like, I think it's a little bit too warm for me here right now, but when I go out west, I might bring it with me just to have a super cozy, oversized but cute sweater. Yeah, and then there's some more lace detailing on the sleeves, which I really like. And then again, the half twisted rib for the bottom and the sleeves. This is such a nice, I really just so excited for this. I'm so happy it's done. I can't wait to block it and wear it. The yarns I used, it's the Drops Mohair and then Drops Daisy. I'll put the shade names on the screen. But yeah, I also use a 6mm needle for this, so this knit up super quickly. The Drops Daisy is a DK, and then the Mohair, and so you get kind of like a worsted Aran kind of gauge is the recommended yarn and gauge for this. So I still need to weave in an end, apparently. I forgot this one. But yeah, I do still need to block it, so I'll have to adjust my end weavings. But yeah, really nice pattern, really easy to follow. There were a couple of things like discussed in the test knitting chat that have been adjusted a little bit, but I knit them before it got adjusted, and even still I really love how it came out. I think it's beautiful. I didn't really make too many mistakes. I did make one mistake that I'm really hoping blocks out. I had added an extra stitch and then I like dropped it and like spread out the stitches around it, but you can kind of see it a little bit, so I'm hoping with blocking it'll sort itself out. Yeah, the yarn, I really like the Drops Daisy. The Drops, I think it's just their mohair. I'll have to look at the exact name. I did like it. It sheds like crazy. Every single time I've been working on this sweater, my pants, whatever I'm wearing is like covered in little hairs. It's got like a really insane halo. I don't know if y'all can see. I haven't found it too scratchy or anything, especially like as it's been a little bit. I would say it's a little bit scratchy. It's definitely scratchier than the Issair, or I'm working with the Santaskar one as well. And I would say it's scratchier than that. So probably not my favorite. Also, the core of it is white. I don't know if y'all can see. But so it kind of gives a little bit, like you can see it in the knit, like the white strand through the stitches. So it gives a little bit of that marling. I don't personally mind that. I think that's fine. But some people I know really don't like when the silk core is not the same color. So this silk core is definitely white, not green. So it did not pick up the dye like at all. So it does have that white core, and it is a little scratchy. I think if you're sensitive at all, I don't know if I would go for this. Maybe. I mean, I can handle it. I'm a little bit sensitive and I can handle it. I don't know that I can. Yeah, I don't know that I would reach for this again. I think I'm gonna see how it does after blocking. It does feel amazing though. You know, the combination. I really like the Drops Daisy. I would definitely use that again. We'll see how it wears over time. But it does have a beautiful halo. It is very, very soft. And I'm really excited to see how it does after blocking. I'll report back. So yeah, that is my finished objects. Let's jump into works in progress. I only have 2 whips I really want to talk about, and they're both pretty new. I'm currently fighting the urge to cast on like 10 summer tops. I don't know if y'all are feeling this, but it is getting warm. I'm gonna want to wear summer tops soon. So I've restrained myself for now. I can't promise it'll be this way forever, but I have 2 whips that I want to talk about. So the first one is actually a cardigan, and we have mohair. So this isn't like the summeriest, but it's kind of a spring knit. I love this color. So this is the beginnings, the very beginnings of my picnic cardigan by Kudo Vakika. So I saw that she had posted this on her Instagram like months ago, and I was like, I am obsessed. I need to make that cardigan the second it comes out. It's so cute. It's got, I'll put a picture, but it's got like the ties in the front. It's just stunning. Love it. So I picked up ahead of time for my birthday. I told my boyfriend I wanted yarn for my birthday. So we went yarn shopping, and I kind of stalked the hashtag to see what the testers were using. And it looked like a fingering and a mohair. So I picked up Santa's Garn Sunday and Santa's Garn Tin Silk Mohair. I'll put the shade names on the screen because you know your girl's not prepared with that. But I just started the back, and I need to knit this to 6 inches. I haven't yet. I was trying to finish up the last 2 things I showed you for Mother's Day and for the test net deadline. I'm about to go on a long kind of journey, so I didn't want to take any like almost finished whip with me. So I just started this. I'm really excited, loving this color. I think it'll be perfect. I'm going to Copenhagen and Stockholm in August, and I want to have this done for then because I think that would be perfect to wear at night when it's like a little bit cooler, or just on like a chilly day there. So really excited to have this. I think that this will be a longer term whip for me because the idea of knitting flat forever on a garment is a little bit intimidating. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stitches knit flat for a long time. So this is being worked. I'm doing this on 4mm needles. I did meet Gage with that. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be really great to have it done. It's a lot of I-cord, so a little bit nervous about knitting that, but I'm very excited to continue working on this. I will be taking this on my trip with me, taking both of my current whips with me actually, and hoping to make some really good progress. All right, my next whip is just started yesterday, very late last night actually, but this is going to be the Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit, and this is knit in Knitting for Olive pure silk, and this color is Pea Shoot. Are y'all proud of me? I remembered a single color. I'm knitting this on 3mm needles as it calls for in the pattern, and yeah, I'm very excited for this. I think this will be a really nice feeling, very drapey lightweight tee for summer into fall too. I really like this green color. I hope it suits me. I don't know. I won't know until I finish knitting it, but this is quite a tiny needle for me. It's the smallest one I've worked with, I think, for definitely for any garment. I knit the Olga on a 4mm, the Cloud Tee on a 4mm, and the Paulina on a 6mm. So this is a 3, and it's a little bit intimidating. I was looking at how many total stitches I'll have for like the body before splitting for sleeves, and I was like, ooh, that's a lot. So yeah, I expect that this will take me a little bit of time as well, since it is just knit on small needles fingering weight garment. I don't have one of those yet though, so I'm really excited to get that at the end. I think it's going to be a beautiful finished object, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty simple, straightforward pattern. It's like a raglan construction, and I've knit a few raglan-esque things, the Paulina, and then I also had started very early on in January the Step by Step sweater by Florence Miller, which is a raglan, and yeah, I had to frog that completely because I realized halfway through that all of my knit stitches were twisted, so that was fun. But I learned then, and you know, at least I learned before I did all this other knitting, so yeah. But yeah, that wraps up my WIPs. I will talk a little bit about acquisitions / future plans, because I have a couple that I'm really excited to start on and I know I want to do. I have a lot of maybes, but let's talk about what I am going to do. Okay, so I've acquired a lot of yarn recently, but I'll just show y'all a few that I have some project ideas for, some pretty specific project ideas. The first is Sandisgarn Line. I have a bunch of these. This is in color light beige, and this is a cotton viscose linen blend, and it's a worsted weight. I want to make the Lacy Loops tee by Other Loops. I'll put a picture here, in this color. I think this will be a really nice all year round kind of tee for me. So I definitely will be casting this on pretty soon. My current two WIPs are both stockinette, so I kind of want like a textured one, so I may actually cast this on soon and just bring this and the picnic cardigan with me on my trip. I'm not sure. I'm like really torn. I've been having a hard time deciding. But yeah, I did acquire a lot of this yarn during the New Jersey Wool Walk, and I'm excited to knit that tee with it. My next acquisition was a little bit older. This is La Mana Verona. This is a merino superfine silk and cashmere blend. This is 25 grams, you get 180 meters. I have, I think, 6 of these. So I was looking at knitting the Mixed Rib Cami by Florence Miller with this. This is a fingering weight, I think. And this is a lovely blue color. Let me see the color. It says color number 41. But yeah, it feels amazing, and I think it would feel really nice next to skin. I think I would get a lot of use out of that cami. So I do want to cast this on pretty soon so that I can get use out of it this summer and then into fall, because it does have that merino and cashmere. Maybe it would keep me warm in the fall if I wore it as like an underlayer, and or winter. I honestly wear tank tops all year round, just under stuff. There's a lot of cat fur in here that I'm picking out, but that's that one. The last one I wanted to talk about that I have, I think, a pretty good plan for is the Barocco Modern Cotton DK. This color is 6652. I don't know what the name is, it doesn't say, but it's a really nice blue turquoise kind of color. I think would suit me pretty well. And you get, in 100 grams, you get 306 meters. It's 60% Pima cotton and 40% modal rayon, or modal viscose, however you want to say it. I think I want to knit the Bowden top. I think it's by Kadri, with this. So I have 3 of these. I think that would be plenty for that top. It's like it's got eyelets, and it's like a U-neck kind of top. I think that'd be lovely. This cotton, I don't know. I gotta figure out my priority order for some of these summer knits, because I have a million things. I want to make, and only so much time. And I would not say that I'm a fast knitter, so yeah. If you have any thoughts on what would be best to knit first, if you've experience with these tops, put them in the comments below, because I need some serious help, advice figuring out what I should knit in what order. I do think the picnic cardigan is going to be a longer term whip that I'm always just going to work on in the backgrounds of other whips. So I probably will want like, you know, other things to work on at the time. So these 3 that I talked about, none of these are plain stockinette. We've got the mixed ribs, eyelets. This is like a stripy eyelet one, and so I think all of these would be like good projects to do at the same time as the picnic cardigan. But I'm really obsessed with the idea of the Cumulus tee. I am worried that bringing 2 stockinette projects with me on my trip might lead me to be a little bit bored. So I'll have to think about that some more, but I'm really excited for both of them. So anyways, if y'all have any tips or suggestions on how to arrange my spring summer knits, I would love it. Also, I would love to hear what y'all are making this spring and summer. If you want to drop it in the comments below. I am constantly favoriting and purchasing patterns on Ravelry. It's a real problem. So yeah, if you have other project suggestions, or if you've used any of these yarns before and you have like tips or patterns that you think would work really well with it, I would love to hear about that. But yeah, well, thanks y'all so much for watching. If you made it this far, that's amazing. Give me a subscribe if you want to see more future content from me. I am just kind of beginning my knitting journey, so I'm always open to advice and things like that. If you have any helpful advice, definitely leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks so much for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.